So this is valid mountain array. So you're given an array of integers, and you are to return true if and only if it's a valid mountain array. And so a mountain array has numbers that are increasing up until a point. That's 5 here, and then they start decreasing. So an invalid array would be zeros going up to 2, up to 3. It plateaus at 3, so it's not going up. It goes up to 5, then down to 2, down to 1, down to 0. So where it's plateauing here is not okay, so it's going to return false. Also, an input that is less than 3 has to be false because it has to go up and then down. This one just goes down. This one goes up and then plateaus, so it's false. This one is at 0, goes up to 3, and then decreases. So there's actually an easy way to do this with one pointer. So what we could do is we can take our pointer and keep and increment it as it goes up. If it stops going up, we're going to check that the pointer isn't at 0, and also that it doesn't reach the end without going down then. And then we're going to have our pointer, so it started going down, make sure it continually goes down at that point. And then we're going to return whether our pointer reached the end. And that will give us our true or false. Because if it didn't reach the end, then we are going to return false. If it reached the end after passing through going up and going down, then it's going to return true. So our length is just going to be the length of the array here. And we can just have our int I start off as the index 0. So while I plus 1 is less than the length, so while we can check the 1 to the right, and while a of I is less than, and it's not less than or equal to, it has to be less than, that's how we avoid the plateau, is less than I plus 1, we're going to increment our I. So this is going to come out of this while loop at the point where this I value, so for instance, if it was this array, it's where this one is not where, so for instance, I plus 1 would be 2, and 2 is not greater than 5, so it's going to break out. Then we're going to check if I equals 0, or if I reach to the end. we are going to return false. So now we have our pointer is at 2, for example, in the first given array. This is in the first over here. Okay, so now we have another while loop because we're still saying, okay, again, while I is less, well, I plus 1 is less than the length. And now we're going to do I is greater than I plus 1. We're going to increment our I. And at the end, we're going to return whether I equals the length minus 1. So that's false. We'll try our true. That's true. We'll try another. Then we can test out, we could just print out over here. So this should be 2. So for instance, if we have in our test case, we have 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 0. Oops, so this is where the first while loop broke at this 5. And now we could say over here, AI, and this is where the loop ends. Oh, actually, this pointer is at 5, so I plus 1 is 2. Okay. To the loop end. Okay, and that's it. Thanks.